Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know by now I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're taking another look at a camera I purchased a few months ago. I did say I would come back to it, and it is the Sony ZV1. It's this little baby camera here, and to be fair, I actually bought another one, so I've got two of them now, and I love this little camera, and I love it for many reasons. I didn't buy it for vlogging. It's advertised as the vlogging camera, the perfect vlogging camera. I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't use it for vlogging. I purchased it because I wanted a great 4K pocketable camcorder, for want of a better description, and a camera I can keep in my pouch and use for taking photographs. So that was my two fundamental reasons for purchasing it. I did look at the RX100 range, and I've had many of the RX100 cameras, but it lacked some of the video features. One of the main ones is being able to rotate the screen or articulate the screen towards me, because I work by myself. I don't have a film crew with me, so I need to be able to see, you know, what I'm doing, and this answered that question. And the other thing that I needed was a mic jack. Again, this answered the question. And unlimited record limit. Unlimited record limit, you know, no record limit in 4K video. That is awesome, because I do waffle on and I edit quite a bit out in the edit, as it were, and it is such a pain when you're limited to 30 minutes. But today I want to go down the road of, you know, the photography side of it. Very few people are talking about how good this little thing is for taking photographs. Now, as I said, I've got two. I've got one set up for 4K video. That's actually getting these close-up shots of the ZV1 here. And I've got this one set up for taking photographs. Now, one of the drawbacks with the photography side, it hasn't got a viewfinder. Now on the RX100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think we all have actually. I'm not sure if the 2 has. But they've all got a little pop-up viewfinder that sort of pops up over this way. And you've got a piddly little viewfinder, but you do have a viewfinder. This has no viewfinder. You're completely reliant on its screen, but it is a nice bright screen, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. It is nice that it rotates, so if you're taking photographs down like, you know, like that, you're looking down on something, that's great. Likewise, if you're taking photographs down low, that's also great, so you can, you know, you can look up. So having a rotating screen is really good. Great for video, great for stills. So I was happy with that. And it's a nice bright screen. I've not had any issues with being able to see it, you know, out in daylight. So that is one thing. The fact there's no viewfinder didn't really concern me. Now, it hasn't got the control ring around the lens, which the RX100 range has, and that can be used for adjusting the aperture, shutter speeds, and what have you. What it does have though, which most cameras have, you can actually adjust apertures and shutter speeds on the back here. So at the moment I've got it in aperture priority. So if we turn that wheel, so you can see it, if we turn that wheel, you can see that'll adjust the aperture, and that's, I assume it is, should be adjusting the aperture, and yes it is, so that'll adjust the aperture anyway. So, you know, not a big deal, is it? And if you're in shutter priority, then that will adjust the shutter speeds and what have you. If you want to do exposure compensation, you just push the bottom control in and that'll adjust the exposure compensation with it, which it is doing. So again, no big deal. And then I've got ISO set up on the other one, so push that in and then that'll adjust the ISO. You can see down the side there, the ISO is going up and down and changing. So, you know, there are still, the functions are still there, but you have to go into a menu probably a bit more so than you do with, you know, the RX100 range. But it is a compact camera, and I know Sony designed it, you know, primarily for video, but I'm just trying to get the message over. If you do want a hybrid camera, this will take probably better photographs than the early RX100 range, but equally as good as the 5, 6 and 7. In fact, to some extent better than the 6 and 7 because of a lens. They've gone with the lens and the configuration of the RX100 5, which is a 24-70, equivalent to 24-70 in 35mm terms, and it's an f1.8 to 2.8. So at its widest, you've got a really good aperture range there, f1.8. I mean, even at telephoto, you've got f2.8. So even that, you know, is still pretty good in low light. It does feature, which everyone's talking about, this defocus, this clear button here. You push a button. I haven't pre-programmed this, so it still does it. You can push that button there in, and that'll give you clear or defocus. Basically, what it's doing, when it's set to defocus, that's setting the aperture to its widest aperture. So if you're on wide angle, that'll set it to f1.8, so it throws a background out of focus. Very quick and easy way of getting your background out of focus. That's quite nifty in photographs. In fact, that's very nifty. A great little feature. And it has a built-in ND filter. Again, a lot of people will use that for video work, but you can still use it for stills. And I've got that pre-assigned to this function button on the back here. Push that in. Actually, I haven't. There we go. Look at that. That's because I've got it set up on the other one for ND fields. I've got that set up for aspect ratio. Because I do a lot of YouTube stuff, I do take a lot of photographs in the 16:9 aspect ratio. So I've got that set up if I need to take a photograph, you know, from a YouTube channel, or, you know, for the internet. So, but it has got a built-in ND filter. I've probably got that set up in my function button. Yeah, I have. If you have a look there, along on the bottom, I can't see it this way round, but along there, you'll see I've got the ND filter, and it should be turned to off. So, and it is on off. So, you know, having the ND filter is great. The stills is great. You know, it hasn't got the mode dial. You can see on the top there is no mode dial as there is in the RX100 range. Well, that's fine. You just go into this mode button, go into mode button and turn this wheel, and that'll bring up the different modes available, be it shutter priority, aperture priority, video, panorama, whatever it might be. So, you know, there's no problem in using this camera as a stills camera and as a video camera, and I'm very, very happy with the results. In fact, I'm actually very pleasantly surprised how good and how sharp and how good the colours are. You know, if you have a quick look at these images, there's nothing wrong with them at all. Now, we're not, you know, I'm not trying to compare this with a full frame camera. I've got the A7 III. I've also got the A6600, 6100 and what have you. And, you know, a 1-inch sensor, you're not going to be comparing that with a full frame body. But if you want to shove this in your pocket, surely, you know, you're going to be happier with the images that come off this than off your iPhone or off your Android phone. And I know I certainly am. And it's always with you. You're not really, are you? Let's look at this realistically. You're not always going to be carrying around your full frame bodies or your APS-C bodies. So that's what I think is great about it, is it's a fantastic product for carry around. And the images, you can print 16:14, 16:12s off here, you know, off this sensor without any issue whatsoever. So I mean, look at the colours, the sharpness, the definition. You know, absolutely super. You know, you've got no issues with that at all. I could go through a lot of these images. Now, these images, along with many others, will be on my Flickr page. So you can actually download them and you can actually view them much better on Flickr than you will be able to on this YouTube video because of the YouTube compression. You know, there'll be, I put a description, a link to the Flickr page in the description below. So again, the animal eye detect is great, even with not a real animal, but yeah, so it's got animal and human eye detect built into this, and face tracking, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's got the technology really of the A9 and the new A7C for autofocus, and I think, you know, and it's cheaper than the RX100-7. You know, it's quite a bit cheaper actually than the RX100-7. It doesn't have that long lens, but it has got the f1.8 to 2.8 24 to 70 lens. Unlike the RX100 6 and 7, they've got a much longer lens, but not such a wide aperture. So, but again, you can get that, you can get that out depth of field, because that's shooting f1.8, and that is so sharp. And that is so sharp. So, we have a big hang up about sharpness. And actually some people even soften their images because they're too sharp. But I mean, I don't. And these are straight out of camera. I haven't edited these. They're in Lightroom, but I actually haven't edited any of them. I think they are raw files, but they're not edited raw files. But again, yeah, very clean images. Very clean images, with a nice, background out of focus. So, and again, the animal eye detect, great here. He hasn't even got his eyes wide open, but still, lovely and sharp. And that's what really pleased me with this camera. Although, as I said earlier, it is designed as a video camera, great as a stills camera. And it's even got the big red button on the top there for video. It clearly shows that Sony intended this to be a video camera, and it's even got the tally light, so you can see that it is actually recording. Another fantastic little feature. Yeah, again, these images, look at the detail there. Really nice detail. Come on, zoom in. Nice colours, nice detail. I won't keep harping on about it, because I think you can clearly see I really love the camera and I'm really enjoying the images. And it's straight in your pocket. I've got a pouch actually I keep it in, but it does fit in the jacket pocket. And what have you. It has got another video centric feature, which is the showcase mode. Again, there's many features on here that are targeted towards videographers. I also love the fact that you open it up, it's ready to take a photograph. It comes straight on. Yeah, so there we go. Great. Ready to take photographs. It's great. Really nice. Yeah. There we go. That's the little Sony ZV1. There will also be in the description a link to my Amazon affiliate page where you can actually order one if you do want to buy one. I highly recommend it. I think it's a great little compact camera. And as I said earlier, there will be a link to my Flickr page. So there we go. That's for Sony ZV1. If you enjoy this channel, it really does help me if you subscribe, if you haven't already done so. The more subscriptions is great. And I love every single one of them. I'm getting some really good feedback now, and that really does help me grow the channel, and also gives me the motivation to carry on making these videos. I'm really enjoying the positive feedback that I'm getting. So many thanks for all of you again that are leaving feedback and are subscribing and hitting the like button. If you like this video, please hit the like button. That's also really helpful. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the channel, and stay tuned for more videos relating to video and photography. There is a link somewhere up here to my initial review of the Sony ZV1. So thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Cheers for now. Bye.